Alright guys, Mike with King of Avalon follower here to do part 2 of the greatest KvK slash Civil War ever. So right now what I'm doing is I'm going and looking through the names of people who have already been zeroed or nearly zeroed through their bout with Kingdom 89. You just saw Igor Russ right there, down at 21 million power. Wicked, down from I believe 40 million or 30 million to 21 million power. Hardline down to 15 million power, another guy that was up at 30 million. And I'm just showing this. Neff right there, still at 92 million. I think he just put a shield on and just stayed out of it. Same thing with the Truth, 92 million as well. A couple of other players in here. Let's keep looking. I think I have, let's see what we got. We just go up to Verking right there. So Verking down from 115 down to 74 million. So 40 million off the top for him as well. Here they are in Alliance chat. So after the Verking ported back to Kingdom 89, our leader, Conquest, froze him inside the Black Forest. That's it. Didn't attack him or anything, just froze him. Made it so he couldn't port anymore. And Verking, and I'm sorry it's jumping, people are typing while I'm trying to scroll. Verking decides to lift the kingdom-wide rules that say no tile hitting and stuff like that. And you saw right there, he says, we're going to go kill PXR. And then all these people in here are talking about being YouTube famous because I said something about people being salty, and everyone's like, I guess we're going to be on YouTube now. So you are, you're right. Nice, wave to yourselves. This one, Hanar, were you calling me honey? Really? That's so sweet of you. Anyways, so, Verking, STM, LOD, RUS, EOS, HRD, GRD, they all combine into STM's alliance. They just invite everybody in. Hey, you want to go beat up on PXR and RXP? Come join the crew. So they port in, and as you can see right there, they instantly start tile hitting. That rule's out the window. We're going to tile hit, and whoever that was right there from my alliance just got killed. Our leader throws the alliance shield on real quick to shield everybody, but we lose a whole bunch of people. They just get tile hit. So Verking's hanging out in our castle, or actually this is after he had come to our alliance. He goes to the alliance directly beside us, and we're just geographically right beside each other. Our castles run right into each other. So he comes to our alliance, we shield right away and start pulling people off of tiles, and he's out for blood as well as the rest of them. So then they port over to RXP, and they start attacking RXP, which is our sister alliance. If you hadn't figured that one out yet. And there's just people everywhere from every alliance we've ever faced, from all my other videos. They're all here, they're all pissed, and they all want to kill us. So we throw the alliance shield on. RXP does the same thing. Now, one of the other kingdom-wide rules, we have no building destruction. So that's gone, that's out the window. The very first thing they do is they launch an attack on our buildings. They go after doing the tile hitting, and we use our shield. They immediately go straight for our fortress. Now, we're not dumb enough to let them build up enough troops on the fortress so that we can't take it out. So when they launch at the fortress, immediately our strongest guy, Conquest, our leader, sends his troops off to the fortress to get whoever is attacking it off of it. And then we pack that fortress with as many troops as we can to keep someone from hitting it. Right here you can see a report from where Verking hit someone on a tile. That guy Stabzil, or Pidgeotto, I guess, or maybe that's Pidgey, lost 11,000 troops. And I'm just scrolling through the battle report here. But anyways, we'll get to the part up here in just a minute where they start attacking our buildings and trying to wipe our buildings out. And that's what goes on for about 3 or 4 hours, is them trying to wipe our buildings out before we ever attack back. They take out a bunch of tiles. They try to kill a bunch of our buildings, our alliance towers. They go after our fortress. They go after our dragon altar. They go after RXP's fortress. And where are we at? Yeah, so just all these different people. You get Russian names in there that are normally in a different alliance, and they're just going crazy. Magic Carp from EOS. And if it's jerky in the film too, I'm sorry. One of the reasons why I don't have everything recorded again is I record this on my phone and it only has so much memory. So I've already been recording for hours at this point. I edit a lot out so that we don't have to watch it for hours of nothing. But ultimately, I'm running out of space on my phone, and so I'm trying to record just little bits at a time, the good stuff, so I can get it all. I didn't know this Civil War was going to happen, or I might not have spent as much time recording Verking beating the crap out of Kingdom 89 if I'd known there was going to be need for me to record us fighting with Verking and his henchmen. So, they continue to just kind of lay waste to anything they can. They go after our farms. We got multiple farm alliances in the area. They take out tons of different farm alliances, mini PXR, mini RXP, TFR. They're just going crazy, trying to do as much damage as they can. They're not happy that they were losing the kingdom versus kingdom battle, which, you know, being as fair as I can, considering I don't like them very much, I honestly think they were going to lose that KvK anyways, because before they ever came and attacked us and we ever fought with them, Verking had already left Kingdom 89 after bubbling, came back to our kingdom. And when I logged on and woke up, before we ever got in a fight with each other, they had already pulled completely out of the Black Forest minus 1 or 2 players. So I think they were already losing it. I think they might have been a little bit, you know, spicy over that, I guess. But yeah, so anyways, you saw right there, they were attacking our fortress, and we got into our fortress so that they couldn't take it out. Obviously, the smartest thing to do is take out that main fortress. All other alliance buildings die if that main fortress dies. So that's their primary target. So they go for ours. We defend it quickly, make sure we don't allow that to happen. You can see Conquest, myself, multiple other guys just feeding into that thing. Tady, some German name, I don't even know what that is, Mauschkin, whatever. We're going to beef that thing full. We're shielded. You can reinforce and garrison your alliance fortress without busting your shield. So we're just going to load that thing up with troops, make sure it doesn't get hit. Meanwhile, Verking and Fam aren't exactly happy about this, so they have already moved over to RXP, and they're planning to do the same thing over there. And you can see right there they have 1.25 million troops demolishing the RXP fortress. It's going to take about 6 hours to wipe that thing out. RXP is shielded, and they did not get someone in there defending that fortress quick enough before LOD or Verking was able to get on it with his huge Hall of War that can allow 1.2 million people to attack that target. So they did not defend that thing quick enough to keep him from allowing other people to get on it, unfortunately. If they'd rallied that thing with just him on it, they could have probably kicked him off of it, put their own 600,000 or 700,000 troops in there, they might have had a chance. But instead, you see right here, all these guys are lining up. They're just lining up and sending all their troops over there. RXP is pretty much paralyzed. They're unable to do just about anything to defend themselves other than shield and hide. So this goes on, like I said, that Alliance shield lasts for 4 hours, and we ran the clock out on it. We popped ours as soon as they showed up. And from there, we just came up with our counter plan. What were we going to do? We didn't want RXP to lose their fortress. Obviously, at this point, it's pretty much do or die. These guys want to kill us. They're going to make our lives hell in the game. We either need to send a message, get some kills ourselves, force them to back off, force them to shield, force something. So the only thing we have going for us is we're, you know, I don't know if used to being attacked relentlessly is a good thing to be proud of, but I think we've been on the receiving end of this a whole lot more than they ever have. So you can see right here, IR King Peaceful, gathering a rally, and again, for people who always want to see more of me and my crew getting burned, obviously I'm going to try to put in anything that I happen to catch or get, I'll throw in there. So here is, they had already burned one of our players that I didn't catch. But this is her farm, and her farm is actually level 20, so it's a pretty beefy farm. But they launch a rally against Dark Angel, who you might be wondering why she was the only one of our players who wasn't shielded. Apparently she was in some sort of like car accident, so she wasn't online, and yeah, we kind of feel bad for her. She's coming back to a disappointing account. Anyways, you can still see them. They're all over here. These guys are off to the left of our base. Verking and the other ones we looked at just a minute ago are off to the right-hand side of RXP, and us and RXP sit right beside each other. We're on the left, they're on the right. There's a bunch of guys down on the bottom side of us, and then there's a few people to the north of us just touching the Black Forest. So that right there, there's their rally, just wasting Dark Angel, and you can see all those troops now start to return. We're still sitting here waiting for our Alliance shield to come down. So again, this is going to be put into 3 parts. The beginning part's the KvK with LOD, STM, RUS, GRD, HRD, EOS, all fighting Kingdom 89. and then the part where they jump us and they just go for it, and we're on the defensive side. And then coming up next will be our retaliation, and it is beautiful. It went much better than I expected, considering it ended up being our alliance plus 2 or 3 people from RXP, so kind of like 1.2 alliances, taking on something like 5 or 6. So we'll get to that. We're wrapping up the end of this stretch right here. I'm just kind of going around giving you an idea of who all is in our base. Pretty much anyone who isn't shielded, and of course Call Me Batman right there, who is always shielded, even when he's on the attack, apparently. That guy's tough to hit. He's just always shielded. Anyways, they're all there. They're all getting ready to crush us. So we'll move on to part 3. Thanks for watching, guys, and get ready for the next part.